Welcome to the special series of Traveling on Keto. In this video specifically, we're going to cover all the tips you need to know when camping on keto. Keto and camping pair perfectly together when you know how to prepare the right way. We're going to be covering both types of camping, whether you're camping with an RV and the commodity of having your own skillet and refrigerator, or whether you're camping with a tent and an open campfire. Camping is all about the gear. So if you have not seen the first video of this series, I suggest right after this to go back and watch it, as I mention all the gear you will need to travel on any trip, regardless if it's camping or not. I have also put it together in a list that I have linked in the description below, where your essential traveling guide is waiting for you. To the general traveling gear, you also want to add when camping mason jars, a skillet, and definitely coolers. First, we're going to go over the tips if you're camping with an RV. The first thing you want to do is prepared boiled eggs. Trust me, they will come in very handy. Boil them, put them under cold running water, peel them, and then put them in a container and refrigerate them and keep them there until you start your trip. Boiled eggs are perfect for having just as even a snack because they have perfect macros for the ketogenic diet. But they are also excellent for your salads, wraps, and sandwiches. Next, you will want to portion all your dressings, mayo, sauces in single disposable portions. You can find really cheap condiment cups online or even at the Dollar Tree. A must, in my opinion, is that you need to prepare keto buns. Keto buns are a lifesaver for your burgers, for your sandwiches, or even just like that. Now above you will find linked my video to my favorite keto bun recipe that I use all the time. Next, in a couple of Ziploc bags, I want you to prepare all your burger toppings, but keep them separate. For example, if you want pickles, make sure you have already cut them, diced them the way you want them in your burger, and then seal them tightly in one Ziploc bag. In another one, you can slice your onions or put your olives or even your bacon. Keep all your toppings separate, as you do not want to mix the flavors. Another favorite if you're camping with an RV and you have the commodity of a refrigerator is a chicken salad or a tuna salad, or even both, why not? Now I suggest you prepare them exactly like you want them from your home. Put them in airtight containers and refrigerate them. These will come in very handy when you want to eat them just like that, straight from the container, or pop them in one of the keto buns we mentioned earlier. But who am I anyway? Well, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Talita from Shrinking with Keto. And throughout my ketogenic journey, I have lost over 190 pounds, reversed my type 2 diabetes, and did this while I was traveling. I'm a great outdoors person and I love to travel, whether that's overseas or locally. Next, I want you to think about your protein. On camping, you should stick to the basics: steak, burger patties, and hot dogs. You want to prepare all your burger patties at home and then put them in a container, placing a piece of parchment paper in between each patty so they don't stick together. And refrigerate the container. A pro tip here is if you want to marinate your steaks, make the marinade inside the Ziploc bag. Then take the steak and put it inside the Ziploc bag with the marinade and seal it tightly. Do this by doing single packets of steaks. Then put them in the refrigerator. Hot dogs are the only thing that really do not need any preparation. These three main proteins are perfect for your main meal, leaving us with breakfast and lunch. The commodity of having a fridge and skillet gives you breakfast choices. Besides the obvious eggs, bacon, and sausage, you can also make pancakes on your camping trip. But there is a trick to making the pancakes on your camping trip as well, and this is where you're going to need the mason jars. Now, I cannot take credit for this idea no matter how bright it is, because it is a fellow ketoers from Keto Focus. When you're preparing this at home, in one mason jar, you want to add all your dry pancake ingredients. And in the other mason jar, you want to add all your wet ingredients. Now, you want to make sure you shake those jars before you refrigerate them. And when you want to make your pancakes, all you have to do is take the wet ingredient jar, pour it into the dry ingredient jar, put the lid back on, shake it really well, and that's going to form your pancake mix where you can pour it on your skillet directly from the mason jar. Above, I have linked my favorite keto pancake recipe, and you can use that to prepare your mason jars. A perfect hassle-free lunch for camping are sandwiches and wraps. For the sandwiches, you can use the buns that we mentioned earlier. And for the wraps, there is plenty of low-carb wraps, such as coconut wraps. Add your cheese, cold cuts, and condiments that you have brought with you in single packet. And this is a great time to use your chicken salad or your tuna salad, as it's going to give you the proteins and the fats you need, keep you satiated, all in a quick lunch. Let me interrupt you for a second. If this is the first time you're seeing this pretty face, let's make sure it's not the last. So please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Click that bell icon so that YouTube can let you know every time I make a new video for you. And please feel free to ask me anything you want down in the comment section below. And I will try my best to answer every single one of your questions. I want to ask you to take a second if you're getting any value from this video and press the thumbs up button, as this lets YouTube know to push this content out to more people like you. Let's move over to our second camping trip. Obviously, if you want to go camping with a tent and a fire, you don't have the commodity of a fridge. You don't have the commodity of an RV. So we have to alter what we're going to prepare. First, I suggest you have 2 coolers just for frozen food, and you will quickly understand what I mean when I say frozen food. The first tip here is that cooked meat holds out better than raw meat. So in this preparation, we're going to be cooking our protein beforehand. I suggest you pre-cook all of your patties for your burgers, and if you can eat your steak well done, pre-cook the steak as well. Then put the meat inside a vacuum, or if you don't have a vacuum, in a Ziploc bag, and try to get all the air out. And instead of the refrigerator, put them in the freezer. Next, I want you to make foil packs of all the sides and lunches you might want. For example, you open a sheet of aluminum foil and you add inside peppers and sausages, or maybe some broccoli, cheddar cheese, and bacon. Then I want you to fold this foil into a pouch-like packet, and you guessed it, freeze it. Now you want to make sure you have your fats inside the foil packages and inside your meats. For example, I would add a couple of tablespoons of butter in each foil packet. Finally, you want to think about breakfast. On an open fire, frying eggs without a skillet is almost impossible, and let alone making any pancakes. So again, I want you to prepare some egg bites at home. In a muffin tin, you can add your preferred recipe of eggs, bacon, cheddar. Put them in little packets and let it cook. This is going to give you a cupcake-looking, souffle-tasting egg bite. Pop them in a Ziploc bag and refrigerate them. You do not want to freeze your eggs, as it will alter their taste. Another choice if you don't like eggs is simply a bun or a wrap with cold cuts and cheese that you can have in your cooler. Back to the coolers that I said. Remember when I said I want you to have 2 coolers just with frozen food? This is what I meant. In the coolers for the frozen food, I want you to put all your frozen meats and frozen foil packages. Will also act as ice to keep the cooler cold for longer. And then in a separate cooler, you want to have your drinks, your egg bites, your cold cuts, and your cheese. All you have to do with the foil packets when you're ready to have a lunch or you want to unthaw your side for your meat is to place them near the campfire. And inside the foil, they will heat up again and melt. As a great coffee lover, I want to remind you that regardless if you're taking a camping trip on an RV or a camping trip just with a tent and a fire, you want your coffee essentials. Your coffee essentials and what you prepare beforehand are all found in the first video of this series when I talk about preparing for your keto vacation. So there you have it, the great tips you need for camping on keto. And as always, chin up or the crown slips.